What's up, boss babe? Adrienne Dione here, and I want to welcome you to the replay of the Fundamentals of Business Bootcamp. Now, the replay does start with a brief introduction of who I am, so if you're not familiar, you will get a kind of synopsis or summary of who I am and what I do. But I just ultimately wanted to say, at any point during the replay, you have questions about anything, simply email me or set up a strategy call, and I will be happy to help. So without further ado, here we go. My name is Adrienne Dione. I am also known as the FundaMentor. I'm a podcast host, public speaker, business coach. I work primarily with solopreneurs who are service-based, small business owners, and I just basically help them start, run, and scale their businesses. So in lieu of like starting, I know for a lot of creatives and visionaries, you guys have a lot of great ideas, but a lot of times you don't really take action because you have a hard time structuring and organizing ideas so that you can actually execute. So I help you structure and organize your ideas. Does anybody kind of suffer from that? Let me know in the chat. Put like a 1 in the chat if that's been a problem of yours. In the aspect of running, a lot of us are, first time doing this business, right? First time us creating a business or using our talents to generate income. And so when it comes to running the business, it can be overwhelming sometimes because we have our personal responsibilities. We also have like responsibilities of running our businesses. So I just help to come in and help you develop systems and processes to make sure that you are able to balance everything. So operational systems, team building, having the right people in the right places, just doing whatever you need to do, teaching you the time management skills, project management skills, so that you're actually able to run your business and grow it efficiently. So anybody feel a little overwhelmed with like running your business? Put a 2 in the chat. So let me see who's here, kind of like where you're struggling. And then, of course, scaling your business. Scaling does not happen just because your business is growing, right? We have to be intentional about it. So I come in and I help you build the proper foundation for growth, not only growth, but sustainability. And so we're not sacrificing, doing all this hard work just for 2 or 3 years later, our business, crumbles or goes under because we weren't able to scale it, whether it's from knowing how to run it or taking action on the ideas that we had. We don't want to put out in all this hard work to do all of that and then it fails. And so that is like my passion and really the whole purpose of this whole boot camp, because honestly, I have been haunted by the current statistics of Black women in general being one of the fastest growing groups of entrepreneurs, but we're also the fastest group to lead the market. And it's because not because we aren't talented and we don't know what we're doing. And I just use Black women as an example, but there are a lot of people starting businesses now just because of the culture of where we are in the world. We need multiple income streams to survive at this point. But we're leaving the market so quickly because not because we're not talented and we don't have like what it takes to do it, but we don't have the resources, the knowledge, and the strategies to do it. And so I wanted to create something that gave you that type of stuff, as much value and resources as I could in 2 days, so that it kind of puts you on the right track. So basically that's the itinerary for these next 2 days. Today, we're going to be focused on profitability. We're going to be talking about business model structure, how to stand out, sales funnel, customer acquisition strategies. These are like the main things when it comes to making sure our businesses are profitable. And then tomorrow we'll be talking about sustainability, being able to run our businesses efficiently, optimizing our day, diversifying income stream, which is really big for sustaining our businesses, and then obtaining resources and fundraising so that we don't have to keep using our personal finances to, fund our businesses. So just a little bit of housekeeping before I get started. As I go through and if you have questions, type your questions in the chat section as they come, because I'm going to stop periodically and go back and answer them so that I make sure everybody's on track. And then I want this to be interactive, y'all. So please talk to me, okay? I don't want to just be a talking head. Talk to me in the chat. I'll be asking questions, so just interact with me, and that's all I ask. I'm going to be giving a lot of information. I'm going to try to get y'all out of here by 8. And so I'll just need you to interact with me, okay? Deal. Hey, Brianna, you're late. I'm fussing at her. She's my VA, y'all. So when it comes to profitability, my goal for this boot camp tonight is to basically shift your perspective around profitability. And the first thing in order for you to do that is to know revenue and profitability are not the same thing. Who kind of feels like revenue and profitability is the same thing? Let me know in the comment section. They are not the same thing. Revenue, yeah, absolutely not, Jessica. Jessica's a CPA, so she knows. But revenue is the total amount of money you generate from selling your products and your services. Profitability compares how much income you're generating compared to the costs and expenses. And so what I really want y'all to stop doing is that when people post, oh, this is how much money I made, this month, I made 100K, I made this however much, it does not really signify whether their business is doing well. That's the importance of profitability. It enables us to see a more holistic view of how well our business is doing, right? So that's important because hold on. So it allows us to see how well our business is doing. So people can scam us by just looking at, oh, they made 100K. What did it take for you to make that amount of money though? What are your overhead costs and your expenses? And so it's important for us to really think about profitability in our businesses in a way that we take all of that into account. Your understanding of profitability affects your ability to create an effective business model and structure. Why? Because the thing that I see commonly happening is that when people are thinking revenue, when they're setting their prices and their financial goals, they're not taking into account the expenses and the operational costs that are required in order to run that business. So even when they're hitting their financial goal, they're disappointed when they realize the profit that they make is significantly lower than what they expected. Does that make sense, y'all? So by the time you hit your financial goal and now you got to pay Uncle Sam, you're taking out expenses, you're doing all of that, the amount of money that you thought you were going to make or that you wanted to make, even though you hit your sales goals, is now affected. And now you have to sell even more. You have to work harder. And that's where the burnout and the overwhelm is coming from, because our pricing, the expenses, the model type that we're using, they don't support our financial goals. So we have to take all of that into account. Your business model is basically how you plan to make money. It should answer the questions of what product and service you're going to sell, how you intend to market that, what kind of expenses are required. This is a big one, you guys, especially with product-based businesses. Well, both, really. Think about the expenses that are required. This is going to make a big difference in how much you are profiting or taking home. And then how you expect to turn a profit. And I know Jessica's in here. Do we have any other accountants or tax professionals here? Let me know in the chat. But your business structure or the type of entity that you have should be determined by using this information. A lot of times we're like so ready to officially form our businesses, and we go and we, you know, become an LLC, and now you have those extra expenses. Jessica will tell you that your entity, the type of business entity that you choose definitely has an effect on profitability. So it's important that you take all of that into consideration and don't be so ready to just go and form your business. Sometimes you need to be a sole proprietor for a minute so you can look at everything and see your expenses and see all of that over a while, get some consistent income coming in, and then officially form your business. This is kind of fundamental components of a business model. And we're going to talk about a lot of these as we go through this boot camp, like the value proposition, but target market is a big one. Did any of you guys come to the content strategy masterclass? Put a 1 in the chat if you did. I kind of talked about target market, but target market is important because based on your financial goals, your target market may change because they may not be able to afford the prices that you have or that you need to have in order to reach your financial goals. So these are some important things that you need to think about with your business model. Competitive advantage, we're going to talk about that. Trina was there, Brianna was there, Anita. It was really good, but I'm going to get into some of it tonight. Your problem and solution, that goes into how you're planning to market your products and services. So, and then we'll talk about revenue streams tomorrow night, but these are fundamental components of a business model. So if you have issues with any of these, it's going to affect profitability, and you need to make sure that you have a plan for each one of these. Now, I want you guys to do a business audit, a business model audit right now. And this is really easy. You don't have to do it right now, but take a screenshot of this or whatever you need to do and sit with this to see if your business model is setting you up for success. Number one, you want to look at how much would you like to make? And when I say how much would you like to make, how much would you like to pay yourself? Because that's going to be a lot different from how much you need to make in your business. Then I want you to sit down and write down all the expenses, the total amount of expenses that it takes for your business to run, including, you know, taxes. You can take out a percentage about for taxes and savings, right? We don't want to spend all of the money. We want to invest back into the business. And then I want you to list the price of each of your products and your services. Determine the number of sales required to reach your financial goal. And then I really want you to sit and think, is that currently possible for you? And I'm not saying can you do this or not? I mean in a way of like manpower. If you are a solopreneur, are you able to do what you need to do in order to make that number of sales? Do you have the energy? Do you have the time? Do you have the resources in order to reach that financial goal based on all of the information? Does anybody have any questions with this right here? How do you feel just looking at these questions? Do you feel like your business model is kind of set up for success? Let me know in the chat. But this is really good questions to see the health of your business model. Trina says, not yet. Erica says, yes. Great. Let me know. I want to make sure that I'm covering things that you need to know to make sure you guys are set up correctly. And so, okay, good, Victoria. This will allow you to see where in the components you need to spend a little bit more time, or where you may need to get help. So before I move on to standing out, does anybody have any questions so far with the business model? Let me know. And you guys can talk too. You don't have to put it in the chat. Okay. Good to move on. You can put a 2 in the chat if you're good. Let me know. 2, perfect. All right. So let's talk about standing out. One of the things I think is important to know about standing out or saturated markets is that we are in a time where a lot of people are starting businesses, and we are choosing businesses that are low cost and quick to start. The problem with that is, so is everybody else, right? So we're finding ourselves in these saturated markets. Now, there's no reason to be discouraged if you are in an industry that is saturated, because we as humans like variety. There, you can't settle everybody anyway, so it's okay. But you can still be successful, but you need to be creative about standing out. So when it comes to standing out, you need to have a unique selling proposition. The only thing, it sounds fancy, but all this means is what sets your business apart from others. And your unique selling proposition also tells customers why they should choose you. So every business needs to have an established unique selling proposition. Your unique selling proposition is basically what you become known for. So let me explain. Many businesses make the mistake of attempting to just be known for everything, right? They want to have the highest quality, but also the lowest prices. They want to make sure they have the best food, but also the cheapest prices. They want to be known for like everything. And the problem with that is that when you attempt to be known for everything, you really don't become known for anything. It's like the saying, a man of many, a master of all is a master of none, something like that. But it's important to find something that you want to be known for and use that as your unique selling proposition. Now, I want to give you some examples so you understand exactly what I'm talking about. How many people listen to podcasts? Type a 3 in the chat if you listen to podcasts. I hope y'all listen to my podcast. So if you've ever heard of podcasts, you probably heard of Anchor. Anchor focuses on the ease of use. That's its selling proposition. So anybody that's starting a podcast will probably be using Anchor because it's super easy to use. Everybody knows about Canva. Canva is another one. It makes it easy for anyone to create. That's their unique selling proposition. Now, y'all know I love Canva. I know Bree loves Canva. That's their unique selling proposition. HelloFresh, it uses FOMO as its unique selling proposition. So it's America's most popular meal kit. So everybody, using that popular word, nobody wants to feel left out. And so they use HelloFresh. It's popular. Everybody knows about it. That's their unique selling proposition. And then Amazon, y'all know, if you want something here today or tomorrow, go through Amazon. It has everything. That's their unique selling proposition. So when you are developing your unique selling proposition, just think about, what do you want to be known for? Does anybody already have an established unique selling proposition for their business? Tell me what your business is known for in the chat. While I'm waiting for that, I want to talk about 4 easy ways to stand out. So if you're still trying to figure out what you want to be known for, I have this is my secret for what I use and what I tell my clients to use. as a way to stand out. And these are super, super, super easy ways, you guys. I promise you, implement this, you're going to stand out. Number one, craft a distinct style or voice or brand personality for your biz. Now, I know y'all ain't gonna like this, but it's a well-known fact that people like buying from other people. So if your business is, the messaging seems like it's, faceless or robotish or really stiff, most likely people are not going to want to buy from you. You need to have a certain style or a voice that people feel like they can relate to. The easiest thing that I can think of is like, remember when, what's her name? The girl, she's a rapper. Cardi B. So like everybody knows her voice, her style, they know words that she uses. She's really easy to like point out. She's branded in our minds because she uses a distinct style, a voice, a personality for her brand. And people feel like they can relate to her, or they remember some of her sayings. Even with me, y'all know I use the word boss babe all the time. Hey, boss babes. Hey, boss babes. I use it all the time. Even when people come talk to me sometimes, they'll be like, hey, boss babe, jokingly, but that's a distinct style of voice. I say sis a lot with my target audience. That's me creating a distinct style. So that is one easy way. And you need to show your face, okay? Do not be afraid to let people see the humanity behind your brand. So if they feel like they know you or like you, they will develop trust, and that'll give you advantage over other people, using other people's businesses, right? So if I feel like I'm engaging with you, I talk to you, you're my friend, like, whatever, they're more likely to go with you, even when another business is offering the same services or products. Jessica says, gosh, we're working on that, Jessica. The second one is look for a niche group of people whose needs aren't being met within your industry. So rather than trying to break into, I sell hair, all kind of hair, all this other kind of stuff, maybe niche down just to cancer patients, right? Because most of the time, people in a large industry, a certain group of people are probably just buying what's currently on the market just because there's a lack of alternatives. So if they see a product or a service that's being offered, especially to them, they'll feel like they're seen and they're heard, and they'll happily go with you above just what the general industry is offering them. And I know you guys hate to niche down, but I promise you, if you just focus on a specific group of people, you will find your audience really grows. Who struggles with niching down? I gave the example of like hair and, the cancer patient, right? Think about makeup businesses. Biana was talking about makeup earlier, right? So instead of having a whole line of makeup, maybe you say, I'm just going to focus on lipsticks. That way I can give better quality, better variety, instead of just makeup in general and trying to offer so many different products and so many different services. So look for a specific people, a group of people in your industry, right? So maybe you're a VA. So instead of being a VA for like all small, small businesses, maybe you are just a VA for people who are in just for coaches, or just for mompreneurs. And your messaging and everything will be catered around them, and it will speak to them even louder than just a general VA. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Let me see who else is in here. Other businesses. VAs. Jessica, she's an accountant for coaches. Maybe you could pick truck drivers, or just picking churches. Like, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of churches who need accountants and people that they're just volunteering, that you could probably go and find a lot of churches who would need your help rather than just general businesses. Six-figure service-based businesses niche down enough, or do I need to go down further? Definitely niche down further. Yeah, workflow and system strategies. Yeah, that's too broad. Erica, I would definitely say niche down more. And just think about like if you were to say I'm gonna be workflow and system strategist for a church, like I said, right? You would have that so down packed and so customized for churches, because you're only working with churches, that when you present it, it is faster turnaround time. You have stuff that just churches know about, and they'll feel like, wow, you are literally the person that I'm looking for, rather than just any kind of six-figure service-based business, because sometimes they change with different businesses. Brianna asks, can you niche down as you go, or do I have to start to market again? I've heard mixed opinions. So for me, I niched down as I went. So when I first started, child, I was being a life coach. Then I realized I don't really like motivating people like that. I want to work with people that are already motivated. They're ready to take action. They just need a plan. So I had to learn, from me being a new business owner, what I liked and who I like to work with, and where my skills works best, when my skills work best, where they worked best. So I would say if you're still struggling on that, you don't have to, don't shut your business down until you come up with a niche. Keep working, and then you can niche down as you go. Does that answer your question? Hopefully. Okay. Another way, providing quick response times and amazing customer support. Now, I know this may sound like, well, duh, but no, there are a lot of businesses not doing this. Okay. With so many options available, customers are not, they're no longer putting up with delayed response times. I message you about buying one of your products and you don't respond to me for 3 or 4 days. Like, nobody's doing that anymore. Amazon has spoiled us. The internet has spoiled us. And so we want what we want right now. So if you would find a way to provide really quick response times and just really prioritize your customer service and customer support, this would really help you to stand out from other people in your industry. Because again, like I said, a lot of people aren't doing this. So actually, customer service, from statistics wise, 75% of consumers say that customer service is one of the best ways to measure a business's competence, you guys. They're literally measuring how well you're able to do what you do by your customer service, right? How many of us have ever wanted to buy something from somebody, but even before we gave them their money, just the interaction with them told us like, nah, I'm gonna go with somebody else because y'all tripping, y'all taking too long. Jessica said, me, yes, we do not want to give our money to somebody we got to run behind. We ask a question, they're not clear. Like, what? I'm not giving you my money. So the whole takeaway is treat your customers like royalty. Find a way to give quick response times, and give great customer support. One of my clients, she owns a t-shirt business, and y'all know everybody sells t-shirts now, right? All we did was tweak her automated messages on Facebook, where instead of like the little questions or whatever, we had specific questions that people would always ask, and it automatically sent them a brochure of like a fact sheet, basically answering all the questions before they had the questions. And she was sending me screenshots of how people were like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for this information. You are so professional. Like, because other people are running their businesses by going back and forth in the DM. Well, how much do you cost? What about this? What about that? Just tweaking the interaction, the lead capture process made her stand out. So having some automations in place where you can give quick response times, or you can answer people's questions even before they have questions, will really help you to stand out. And then the last one that I have is prioritize your user experience. When I say user experience, I'm talking about the overall experience from using your website and how easy it is to do business with you. I was giving an example of this the other day to somebody. I wanted to get some faux locks done, and I found a girl on Instagram. So she didn't have anywhere on there that showed like a booking site. I couldn't see what days were available. All she had was a text me link. So I had to text her, and then she sent me this long text with, like, you know how hairstylists, y'all, be having the bold captions, like they screaming at you and all of this stuff with all this information. She screenshotted me the days that she had available and the time. And I was just looking at this like, this is too much work. I'm overwhelmed already because I don't want to read this. I'm just going to go find somebody else. She had great work, but the user experience, the overall experience from using her website and how easy it was to book and all of that affected me choosing her over somebody else. So these are very easy ways to stand out. Let me know which one I told you that you're probably going to try to implement, or that you haven't been doing, but you're going to do. Let me know in the chat.
A resident assess for admission.
You heard. Easy user experience. Yeah. You want to make sure that the experience is easy. And it creates like an experience that people can trust you and they'll keep coming back. That's the whole goal, right? Y'all, it's 7:40. I am going very slow. Okay, niching down. Anita says all of them. Okay, perfect. Yeah, and when it comes to user experience, make sure that you have like a modern looking website, which is easy to do now. You give them direction of how to book your services or how to use your product. The more information that we give them, directing them, answering questions before they have the question, where there's not a lot of well, I wonder how long it's going to take for me to get the product, or what's going to happen after I pay. If you can answer those questions before, that's really going to help you to stand out, and people will be more apt to buy from you. So let's move on to sales funnels. Does anybody have any questions? If you're cool for me to keep going, put a 3 in the comment section. Make sure that I still have y'all. I got to keep rushing. My goal was 8. Okay, I'm seeing 3. So let's talk about sales funnels. So if you came to my content strategy masterclass, I talked a little bit about sales funnels, but we're gonna really get like down to the nitty-gritty with it. Defining and managing your sales funnel is one of the most powerful concepts of business, and it highly affects your profitability. So your sales funnel is basically the process someone takes in order to become your customer. Before I go into this, who has problems or issues understanding sales funnels? Write a 1 in the comment, in the chat rather. Let me know if you're still having issues with sales funnels. Piana says 1.5. Okay. So each stage of the sales funnel impacts your consumers' behaviors. So you need to know each step like you know the back of your hand, okay? By knowing each stage of the sales funnel, it can help you improve the number of people that go from one step to the next step. And it also helps you to find the holes in your in the process to figure out which place people drop out of your sales funnel and where they're not converting. So I really wanted to pick pictures and put as much information on here as possible. So please screenshot this so you guys can go back and look at it, and you'll have it as a reference when you're building your own sales funnel. So I'm going to take you through each stage, and I put goals for each stage so you know exactly what you should be doing with each stage. So for awareness, this is the hugest part of the funnel, right? This is where most people will come in. This is the point where you first catch a potential customer's attention. They're going to become aware of your business and what you offer. So at this stage, you're basically just trying to get people to know who you are, what you offer, and hopefully capture their interest enough that they're willing to like follow you or join your email list, which when they do that, that turns them into a prospect or a lead. Any questions about the awareness part? Some things you can do in order to bring in awareness is your content, that kind of stuff. Showing up on social media, that type of stuff is where you would use that part of the awareness stage. Okay. When you actually get them to follow you or join your email list, this is where they're now in the interest stage, right? Now that they've given you their info, this is the time to nurture them. So you want to really focus on increasing your know, like, trust factor and sending them information and content that helps them, but do not sell to them, right? Have you ever been on a date with somebody and then you've been on a date, they talking, y'all vibing or whatever, and then they start to tell you like, man, I think you're gonna be my wife. Like, I really wanna, seal the deal with you. Can we be in a relationship? You like, whoa, too fast. Something's wrong here. That's the exact same energy you give off when somebody gives you their information and you immediately start trying to sell to them, right? We do not want to do this. The goal here is to establish yourself as an expert, nurture them by offering to help them. You want to inform them and educate them and prepare them for a purchase, but not actually try to sell to them. Any questions about the interest part? And I'll give examples on the next slide. Then they move into the decision portion, right? So after you've nurtured them effectively, your potential customer will be ready to buy. You want to give them the opportunity to do so by offering them your products or your service. And you want to make it irresistible. So many times we'll nurture people, but we never ask for the direct sale. And so if you don't ask for it, they won't buy. So you want to make sure at this stage you make your best offer. You remove any type of purchasing friction from them. So if they have any questions that need to be answered for them to go ahead and make that purchase, you want to attack that right there in this part of it, right? Provide your contact details for you to follow up with them. Make them feel safe about making the purchase and investing in your business. And then the action stage, this is the very bottom of the sales funnel. Not everybody that you pull into the sales funnel will get here, but this is basically a stage where that potential customer is ready to purchase, and they become a customer of yours. But that is not where you should stop. You should also think about retaining this customer. So do whatever you can to make the best customer experience possible. And you want to start marketing all over again. And we'll start talking about that a little bit later. But these are the 4 stages of the sales funnel. Is that clear? Put a chat if, put a 1 in the chat if it's clear. So here's another one. graphic that I saw on the internet, and I thought this was really cool. It tells you the tools that you can use for each stage. So for the awareness portion, content marketing, social media, paid advertisement, whatever you can do to bring awareness to your business and the services that you offer, however you can target your audience, that's what you'll be doing in the awareness stage. For the interest, in order for them to give you the information, you can use landing pages, ebooks, newsletters, any kind of tool that you can you want to use or that is high value in order to get them to give you their information. That's what you want to use in order to bring them into the interest stage. Now that they're on your email list, or they're a part of your they follow you, maybe they subscribe to your content, to your YouTube channel. This is where you're going to be nurturing them, right? Nurturing them, preparing them for a sale. Once you get to the decision process, you want to have a really user-friendly sales page, right? You want to have a product or a service that you're offering. So maybe you need to offer them a free consultation so that you can have a one-on-one with them. Any kind of trust signs, facts section on your page to answer those questions that might, be the determining factor whether they buy into your product or your service. That is where you use this in this portion. And then the action portion, your payment processor, the shopping cart, making sure that, like, if you have Shopify, you're using the tools for like getting people back if they put something in your cart, that type of stuff. That's what you'll be using for those stages. Do you guys have any questions about that before I move on?
I have a question.
Okay.
So when you're doing sales funnels, is this something, how long do you stay in each section? Or is this something that like happens, like, I guess that's my question. Like, how long do you stay in each one of those sections? Or how do you know when you're ready to move on from awareness to interest, or from interest to decision? Or
yeah, that's a great question. So I'm going to talk about it right now. So how do we create or implement the sales funnel into your business? So the first thing you need to know is that each product or service should have its own sales funnel. So in order to plan out your sales funnel, you want to ask these questions. How will I attract my audience's attention? Right? What am I going to use in order to bring awareness? So I'll use this what I'm doing right now as an example, right? So when I was planning out my sales funnel for whatever service or whatever, I'm not trying to sell to y'all, so this is an example. How will I attract my audience's attention? So I use Facebook ads. I use content that I told about what was going to be in the what I was going to be going over. I talked about pain points. So I had a full plan of how I'm going to attract people's attention, right? Once I had their attention, I asked certain questions in Facebook groups that made people problem aware. Once they had that, I asked, what can I offer them in exchange for their info, right? So I had a landing page for this boot camp. This is basically what I'm offering you guys in exchange for your info, right? So I'm attracting using social media marketing, email marketing. I send out stuff to my email list. I'm bringing awareness, right, to my business. Now I'm offering you this boot camp in exchange for your information, right? What's my plan to educate and nurture them? So when you come to this boot camp, I'm educating you on fundamentals that you need for your businesses. I'm nurturing you. Now, this could be a quick sale. I know you guys have been to webinars before. And so at the end of the webinar, then they will have an irresistible offer for you. That's an example of a sales funnel. So for this specific service or product, if they were selling a course, right? They wouldn't stay in the educate and nurture too long, because it's literally just the end of this webinar. And then I'm going to hit you with the irresistible offer. So it does change based on your specific service, or your specific products, but you don't want to sell too fast to where people don't trust you. And a lot of times that's why people use email marketing. So they'll create an automated email funnel to where they're offering them and sending emails maybe once or twice a week, that has just really good information, making people problem aware, and then offering their product or service as a solution, where this may take maybe 6 weeks. Then they offer them something and they buy into it because they feel like they've seen enough, heard enough, you've educated them enough. But it all depends on that service or product. And this is why at the bottom here, you see I said there is no one perfect formula. Test and trial will help you create the best formula for your specific business. You guys are gonna have to try and fail, right? You're gonna have to try and adjust, try different things, go a little longer, see how it works for your specific business. That's the only way you'll be able to see, right? Especially if you're doing it on your own. Now, if you have a business coach, of course, they can help you create something that's a little bit more like sure. But it depends on your specific business. So I'm sorry I can't give you like an exact number, but hopefully that helps. Do you guys have any other questions about how to create this and implement it? Let me know. So you want to make sure that you're paying full attention to each stage of the sales funnel. I have like a few questions I normally ask, like, are you capturing the attention of are you capturing the attention of enough consumers with your initial content, right? So maybe I'm asking questions, certain questions get a lot of attention and they bring in a lot of people to my landing page, right? So now I've noted this is a good question to ask and I repurpose that, right? If I'm doing a certain video or specific type of content, how is this performing? Is it bringing enough attention? I did a video the other day. I normally do reels where I do a lot of sounds and trends and all of that, right? Well, I did a video yesterday where I literally just talked and a lot of people watched it. So it brought awareness to me a lot quicker. So now I'm going to take that information and say, let me create another video where I'm just talking or explaining something and see how that performs. If that performs well, that's going to be a part of my sales funnel for my products or services, right? That gives me good information. Do your prospects trust you enough to give you their contact information? So a lot of times we'll have people visit the site, but nobody opts in. There's something wrong. That tells you right there's something wrong with maybe your landing page, or maybe they don't trust you enough. Something is happening there and you need to go there and to that stage of your sales funnel and correct that, right? Have you secured purchases from your email drip or your nurturing efforts, right? So if you have a whole email campaign and you nurtured them and nobody buys, that lets you know they're aware, they trusted you, but you didn't nurture them enough for them to actually buy. So now you need to fix your nurturing part, adjust that part. And then do your existing customers come back and buy from you? That will tell you a lot about your offer, the delivery of your offer, your products, your services. Are you able to retain them? That will let you know a lot and where you can adjust. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight as to know how and where to adjust in your sales funnel. If you guys are clear on that, put a 1 in the chat so I know I can move on. And any other questions? Because I know sales funnels are like a big thing. But each of your products and your services should have a sales funnel in place. You should know exactly how you're going to attract, what you're going to offer, how you plan to nurture and educate them, and then your offer at the end. Okay, you guys are clear? Okay, so I did good. Okay, cool. Oh yeah. Okay, so creating an effective customer acquisition strategy. So as more and more people have begun to like start businesses, technology has been going, digital marketing has been like getting larger and larger. The cost of acquiring new customers has increased over 60%. So it's more and more expensive to market. Y'all know organic marketing now at this point is just kind of like a thing of yesterday because the algorithms and different things with social media, it's like a pay to play situation, right? So marketing is becoming a lot more expensive, but not only that, customers are a lot less trustworthy of businesses now because everybody has one and everybody's selling something, and there are a lot of scammers out here. So when we're thinking about gaining new customers, we have to take both of those things into consideration. And that is what customer acquisition is all about. So when we create a strategic plan for, well, I guess, let me say this. We want to create a strategic plan for lowering the cost of acquiring, bringing in new customers, and leveraging the ones that we already have. Now, I know that this in many ways sounds like marketing because you want to showcase and bring in new customers, especially when we kind of just talked about the sales funnel. But the difference in marketing and the customer acquisition is that marketing builds awareness, and the goal of acquisition is to drive action, right? So we don't want them just to be aware. That's why a lot of times people have a bunch of followers, but they can't sell, right? Their customer acquisition strategy is not up to par because the people are not taking action, right? So for example, let's just say you run a Facebook ad for your target market, right? You'll look at how well that ad is doing, to kind of determine like, you know, how many people are sharing it, how many people engaged, how many people clicked, all of that. That's marketing. Acquisition, on the other hand, is what happens after that potential customer clicks the link and they're on your website. Did they buy? Did they give your information? All of that is customer acquisition. So if they're willing to take action by purchasing your products or opting into whatever it is that you're offering, then you have good customer acquisition. So marketing drives recognition and awareness, where acquisition is all about action. It's about what drives revenue. Is that clear? So I've listed a few acquisition methods. I won't go into like deep explanation because it's 8 o'clock and I want to be respectful of your time. But content marketing is one. So it's a highly effective way to snag your audience's attention and send them to your website. It can be time consuming. Blogging is another method. It's highly effective to kind of flex your knowledge and build authority and build, you know, set yourself up as the expert, and really increase your know, like, trust factor. Content offers, basically that's like whatever you use for like an opt-in, right? So people have to exchange their personal information to get high value content. So if you look at the differences between the blogging and the content offers, you may have to trial 5 different email subjects just to get somebody to open the email, whereas people are faster with giving you their personal information if you create a really good like lead magnet. So content offers probably would be a better acquisition method based on your business. Video marketing is more expensive, but is a very high converting method. ads and SEO, of course, paid. I wouldn't say organic as much anymore, but it's a fast way to get your content in front of a large amount of people really quickly, without having to like engage and build up your followers. Not that that's not important, because that is, but it's just a faster way. And then of course, email marketing, highly effective. A lot of people don't sleep on it. They don't sleep on it. A lot of people sleep on it, but it's very highly effective if done the right way. So whenever you're thinking about your customer acquisition method, just think about what is the most effective, low cost way to drive action fast, right? That is what customer acquisition is all about. I'll give you guys some examples. Trials. This is an example of that a lot of businesses use now. So like they'll give you all access for 7 days, and just to give their customers or potential customers a taste of their product or service. So it's more likely that people will sign up for it rather than them, doing a whole bunch of content on what it is and why you need it and all of that. It drives action faster. So that's what we need to be thinking about customer acquisition. Hosting events. So webinars, like what I'm doing, it's a fast way to get people on my email list. I give them information, they give me information. I can really nurture them really quickly, because if they come to my webinar and I give them valuable information, now they look at me as an expert. Or if they have a problem in a certain situation, they trust me more to be able to help them than if I just had content of a social media or IG post saying, hey, I'm a business coach. Well, okay, sis, I don't know you, right? Just different other events that you may have, like in-person events. That's a fantastic way to get more people, get in front of your target audience. And then customer retention is one that I really, really, really love, because it turns your satisfied customers into promoters for you, right? Word of mouth, getting reviews from your customers, interviewing your customers, paid advertisements. So influencer marketing is really big now. These are fast ways to get people to take action, because, if she says she's good, I'm going with her experience. Now that puts me at a higher chance of being an expert and other people trusting me. So do you guys understand the difference in the marketing and how this really speaks to the action part and getting people to know, like, trust faster? If you understand, put a 2 in the chat. Referral programs are another good way to use a customer acquisition strategy. So I love, like, at the wax places, if you keep, they have like the little cards, they give you the punch cards and you keep coming back. That is a really good way, a strategy to gain new customers. And then creating shareable content, right? All of my clients share my stuff all the time. So not only am I sharing it with my audience, they're sharing it with their audience. So I'm reaching a greater number of people faster. So that is it for profitability. Do you guys have any questions about anything that we talked about tonight? What did you guys think? Was it valuable? Are you going to use some of the things that you learned? Let me know in the chat. Thank you, Victoria. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about sustainability. And I know I kind of skipped over consumer product discovery process. I'm actually going to couple that with diversifying income streams, because the illustration that I'm going to use really goes well with that. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow, but we're going to be talking about sustainability, making sure that we have the skills and strategies to be able to sustain or build a sustainable business long term. So Jessica says valuable. Now I'm ready for my session so I can get a new strategy. I'm ready for you, Jessica. You're welcome, Trina. Hanita says no questions. You're welcome, Victoria. I hope you guys come back tomorrow. Bring somebody else, okay? Tell them that it was good, that you learned a lot, and that you're looking forward to tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be really good, and a lot of good information about obtaining resources and fundraising. So I know you guys don't want to miss that. Okay, here's my info. If you need any help, DM me, send me an email, follow me, get into my Facebook group if you're not already there. And that is it. I think I did good with timing. So if nothing else, I will see you guys back tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And thank you guys so much for sticking with me.